Today, we're going to talk about the business impact of investing in the communication skills of your team. A lot of times when we're thinking about business and business results, we're thinking about metrics and KPIs and all these different business processes. But what we've seen is actually the number one thing that has a significant impact on improvement of business processes and results is improving the communication and the relationships between the people on the team. This is not a nice to have. This is not like a fun thing to do, like a nice dinner for the team to bring everyone together. Those things are great. I love a good dinner. I love a good team building exercise. But what we're talking about is actually being able to have the difficult conversations, being able to disagree, being able to work through tough things together, being able to have the meeting in the meeting, not the meeting after the meeting and all the kind of emails and Slack channels and all the back conversations, but actually putting it on the table. What are the issues? What are the concerns? What are the opportunities? What are the costs? And actually figuring that out together in a way that then everybody can be aligned and move forward. That takes skill, that takes resilience, and that takes an ability to have courageous presence, courageous connection, and trust. When you have that on a team becomes unstoppable, right? That's when we see unbelievable results, 70% growth, successful mergers, acquisitions, oftentimes a lot more creativity and innovation starts to get unleashed when the team actually starts to work together and focus on the things that are really important. So team development and communication skills is not a nice to have. This is not decorations on the cake. This is the most important, most impactful way that you can improve the operations of your business. So think about it. What would courageous communication do to your team? How would things be better if people are actually having honest and real conversations about the things that matter in a way that was kind, connected, relational, and trust building? I want to give you some practical examples of how we've seen this operate at Aurum. One example is a company we worked with that was a global outsourced accounting firm. They had offices in Silicon Valley, they had offices in India, and representatives around the world. When we started working with them, they were doing quite well, but they had these major breakdowns between different departments, different regions, and a lot of time and energy was being wasted on misunderstandings, frustrations, and miscommunication. When they improved their communication and started to work together much more collaboratively and started to have the real conversations, they discovered they were actually leaving millions of dollars on the table. And they came up with a plan of how to actually sell to existing customers, how to work together between sales and operations, and revenue skyrocketed. That year was 70% revenue growth. And then after that, they actually managed to sell the company successfully and had a very successful, lucrative exit. And when we debriefed this with the CEO, he said, hands down, there is no way they could have done this if the leadership team hadn't improved their communication skills. And the work that they did with us was a significant factor in their success and their ability to actually successfully sell the company. Another example is a restoration company that was a large franchise on the west coast of the United States. It's a great company with a lot of great people working there, but it's also a notoriously difficult industry to retain people because it's hard work. And through our work together, they had a 205% revenue growth, 150% increase in profitability, 162% growth in staff over a period of 3 years, a bunch of mergers and acquisitions, and significant growth and expansion of the organization. They also managed to get significant investment in the company, and all of this was due to the fact that they were actually working together much better. So that was also a case in which we did more than just an afternoon of communication training, but the fact that they were able to actually work together, and especially when the leadership team came together and started to communicate much more effectively and much more honestly and creatively with each other, they achieved extraordinary results in a notoriously difficult industry. Now, these are just some examples of what we've seen in Aurum. We see this all the time with every client we work with every team we work with. There is always a business impact. There is always an improvement. There's always more creativity, innovation, cost savings, profitability, retention. All of those markers that every business is paying attention to get much better. The internet is full of examples of this at the large corporate scale as well. You can find case studies of changes and improvements that happen in Microsoft, at Adobe, at HubSpot, Salesforce, as well as in manufacturing companies like BMW, 3M, even Coca-Cola. Each of these companies has their case studies available on the internet. There's tons of research that's been done at both academic levels, at business levels. Everyone agrees, hands down, investing in communication skills has a business impact. It improves the business functioning across the board. So I invite you to consider it. Courageous communication. We've got a bunch of videos about that coming up, about the specific mistakes and challenges that arise on the team around it. We've got some videos about how to step into courageous presence and invite that into the space and into the room in a way that's safe. We have processes around self-responsibility and dealing with those especially thorny and tricky situations. All kinds of great material for you about courageous communication and how that can change the way you're doing your business, the way you're operating as a team, and the impact you're having on the world.